So, hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the new selection pack. But why does it say normal pack up here? Normal pack. I don't think I have a secret available, right? Do I? No, I do. It's a secret pack and then normal pack. Huh, never noticed. How about this one? Bonus pack, legacy pack. Weird, but alright. So, let's see what cards we have in here. New cards, old cards, new cards. Alright. Wrong button. Yeah, new cards. So we have Divine Golden Shadow Dragon, Draglexion. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, so this doesn't have to be XYZ summoned, so this could technically be cheated. And this allows you to add a Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. So this allows you to add a Galaxy Queen, I believe, which is probably just going to be a setup for an FDK at some point, but it's another option, I suppose. I think there was a rank 4 you could make to also search a Galaxy card, so that works too. And there was something else. Alright, you can detach 2 materials from this card. Special, summon from your extra deck, 1 rank 8 Dragon XYZ monster with 3000 attack. Using this card you control as material. This is treated as an XYZ summon, transfer its materials to the summon monster, then you can attach 1 Galaxy monster from your extra deck to it. So if we're specifically making Hope Harbinger, I guess this would be a slightly uh, well, maybe a potentially better way to do it. Who knows? If there's a Galaxy or Tekken card actually worth adding in this case. But you can add the Omni Negate counter trap, which is pretty nice off of this. I don't think you actually had a way to search that. So I guess this card's good for that. Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon once per turn. So immediately off rip, this would put 2 cards in your opponent's deck for the most part, just and make them completely obsolete. That would be called by the grave, which is interesting. So if you have any hand traps, they just can't be called by anymore. So if you have this on the field, you wouldn't have to play around that. And then you can only use each of the following effects. They're hard once per turn. Yeah, okay. When a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect. You negate the activation. And if you do, this card gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. So that means this card is hard countered by Elblick because that doesn't get activated on the field. So kind of awkward, a little bit there in that sense. But for the most part, I can't think of too many cards that do something like that. So not that problematic. This card is destroyed by battle or card effect. I mean, that kind of sucks, but alright. You can special summon a light dragon monster from your graveyard, except for Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So you just have to summon this properly once, and then you can special summon this from the graveyard. But not really sure if that's really relevant because I don't know what you're floating back with this effect here. So, alright. Wait. A light dragon monster? Is this a light dragon? No, it's a light machine. Okay. And then we have XYZ Hyper Dragon Cannon. So this requires X cross cannon, Y Yara head, Z zillion tank. Are those cards new? I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember these cards. But okay. So you can do an inherent summon here, and then once per opponent's turn, quick effect, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. This is targeted destruction that requires you to discard a card that kind of sucks. You can banish this card from either your field or graveyard and reveal 1 level 8 light machine fusion monster in your extra deck. Special summon up to therion if mentioned on it from your graveyard enter banishment. This is a level 9, so you can't get its own material, I don't think. You have ABC here. That's kind of weird, honestly. I'm not 100% sure about this. The Duke of Demise, I read this card and I just looked at it and I thought it was completely useless garbage. Once per turn during your standby phase, pay 500 life points or destroy this card. First up, why is that line there? Alright. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Who cares? You can only use each of the following effects of the Duke of Demise once per turn. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves normal summon one monster. And then you have the effect here of you banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 4 or higher fiend or zombie monster in your graveyard to add to your hand. So, these two effects don't even work together because you require technically the Duke of Demise on your field to resolve this, but you require the Duke of Demise not to be on the field to resolve the add effect. So it's like, what? So to use this together, you would, in theory, have to summon the Duke of Demise, and then you would need a target to normal for this effect. So at minimum, we're going to consider this like maybe a 2-card combo. So we have like hopefully some one card that acts as like a poly, and then you have like some other poly target or other target for the poly. So maybe you have like, let's say, a normal summon that's a zombie or fiend that somehow grabs you like a fusion spell or performs a fusion summon. You go into Duke, do the extra normal summon a relevant either fiend or zombie, and then you would probably link them off or something, and then you would use Duke of Demise graveyard effect and then do another normal summon potentially later. But actually, now that I think about it, that doesn't work because you would need to special summon whatever that zombie monster that would in theory, or fiend monster in theory, to perform the fusion summon first, and you can't actually normal summon here. So it's kind of like moot point, right? Is if we were to actually normal summon it, then this kind of defeats the whole point of the card. So, okay, whatever. Aerial Eater. 2 fiend monsters with the same attribute. If this card is fusion summon, you can send 1 fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. Is there... Oh yeah, there's a lot of degenerate stuff you can send, honestly, off of that. It's not like super degenerate, but look at this card. Don't really like this. This would have been much better if they just gave this card to zombies. Well, that's irritating, actually. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 2 level 6 or higher fiend monsters with the same attribute as each other from your graveyard, except for Aerial Eater, special summon this card. The other effect isn't that relevant usually, I don't think. Okay, Swordchild Infinity Dragon. If you control no monsters or your opponent controls a monster with 2000 or more attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, special summon 1 level 8 light or dark dragon monster from your deck in defense position, except for Swordchild Infinity Dragon, but negate its effects. You can only use this effect once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon the extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except for Dragon XYZ monsters. So this is a very specific support, I suppose. It's not really splashable. Real quick. 1, 2. It's only 2 euros, I guess. It's not too bad. Alright. Maiden of Light. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Place 1 True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone. If you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card when a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field. Or when this card is targeted for an attack quick effect, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. You can only use each effective Maiden of Light once per turn. Okay. 7th Tachyon. Reveal 1 number XYZ monster in your extra deck that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. Add 1 monster from your deck to hand with the same type or attribute as that monster, and the same level as that monster's rank. Then place 1 card from your hand on top of the deck. And you're also XYZ locked. So this card doesn't look that good unless you're playing the specific decks it's supporting, which I mean, I guess I'm okay with. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Send 1 light machine, normal or union monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and add 1 light machine monster with the same attack, but different original name from your deck to your hand. I mean, so far that seems pretty solid, I guess. If you special summon 3 light machine monsters at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, add 1 monster with 3000 or more attack from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon that monster. What? What the hell? What's the target for that? Huh? Huh? Doesn't really show any monster here in particular. Interesting. Alright. Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Discard one card, add one level 1 light tuner, in one spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. Huh, interesting. Except for Wishes for Eyes of Blue, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Blue Eyes White Dragon you control. Equip one Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it as an equip spell that gives it 400 attack. That effect doesn't seem that useful off of it because I haven't really seen anything that would benefit off of that so far. Uh, um, Wait. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect. I mean, you could technically equip Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon and then pop it, I guess, right? And that would trigger the Monster Reborn? Okay. Yep. Flying Mary, the Wandering Ghost Ship. 2 zombie monsters. You can target one of your level 5 or higher zombie monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Place this card in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous spell, and if you do special, summon that monster. While this card is a continuous spell, you can target one level 5 or higher zombie monster you control. Destroy one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that monster. The second effect is pretty decent. The first one, I can't think of that being, like, super good. When exactly do you have a level 5 or higher zombie monster that would be banished? The only time would be, like, um, maybe this one, the Duke of Demise. I can't think of anything that would actually stay banished. So, like, in any of the zombie cards that currently exist, I don't think there's, like, synergy, unless there's something new that got released. Yeah, it's not, like, super synergistic. Alright. Spirit with Eyes of Blue, Link 1. Oh boy. Oh joy. One level 4 or Lord, Dragon, or Spellcaster monster. Alright. You can add Special Stone except Dragon monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of Spirit with Eyes of Blue once per turn. This card is Link Summon. You can take one Mausoleum of Light from your deck. And either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can tribute this card, special summon one Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you special summoned an effect monster from your graveyard by this effect, it cannot attack and its effects are negated. I mean, this very much just looks like Blue Eyes support, I guess. This just adds Mausoleum. Why do you want to send Mausoleum to the graveyard? I don't get that. Does Mausoleum have a graveyard effect? You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one burst from destruction from your deck to your hand. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. And also Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card. Sure. Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon cannot attack directly unless this card has a normal monster as material. So they really want you to make this with Blue Eyes, I suppose. Or actually, I think there was another normal monster that's a dragon, so that could work, I guess. You can only use each of the following effects of Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon once per turn. If this card is XYZ, so you negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. You can detach one material from this card, then target one normal monster in your graveyard or banishment. Special summon it, and if you do, it gains 1000 attack. I mean, card by itself doesn't seem to do, like, that much. Seems like it'd be, like, kind of decent situationally, but nothing super impressive so far, I guess. If a dragon XYZ monster declares an attack... Oh, wait a second. Oh, where is it? Special summon a level 8 light dragon monster, like Blue Eyes? I mean, being XYZ locked still isn't great, but okay. If a dragon XYZ monster declares an attack, attach this card on the field to it as material. From where? From field? Huh, okay. If a Dragon XYZ monster is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand to either field. Either field. We have so many ways to enable Generator, honestly, that doesn't even matter anymore. Alright, if this card is normal or special summoned, the owner of this card adds one Tachyon spell trap from their deck to their hand. So this can grab you the Omni as well. The Omni counter trap, nice, I guess. Tachyon Cloud Dragon. This card is added to your hand except by drawing it. You can special summon this card. So you have to specifically search it. Okay. You can tribute this card, special summon any Tachyon monster from your deck or graveyard except for Tachyon Cliff and so you would do Tachyon Primal, I guess. If you special summon a Dragon XYZ monster, except during the dash step, you take one of them, attach this card to that monster from the graveyard if it was there when the monster was special summoned, or hand, even if not, as material. Okay, that's nice, I guess. If this card is normal or special summoned, the owner adds a Tachyon spell trap. Okay. Okay, I had to double check that. Oh yeah, X-Ross Cannon. This is new. If you control a Light Machine, Fusion, or Union monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Interesting. During your main phase, you can equip one appropriate Light Machine Union monster from your deck to this card as an equip spell, as if it were equipped by that monster's effect. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for Light monsters, so it Light locks you. But you guys know what monster is a Light? That's right, it's Soul Day. I don't think Light Warriors were that good though. But you know, just saying. Alright, if this card is special summon, you can equip one level 4 Light Machine monster from your hand or graveyard to this card as an equipped spell. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for light monsters as well. I mean, ABC Therion's probably just better now than I'm guessing. Alright, once per turn, you can either target a machine monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. What did this card do again? Um, Nothing. In terms of like, if you were to equip it to something, nothing. Alright. If this card is special summon, you can equip one of your banished level 4 light machine monsters to this card as an equipped spell. Interesting. So a little bit of resource looping maybe? The same lock as before. Once per turn, you can either target a machine monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. There's a lot of destroy me instead going on here. Singularity Fiend. When your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can discard this card and one spell. Destroy that monster's. Ah, okay, I guess. The fact that you have to discard this card and one spell specifically is a little bit weird. But wait, you discard this card and one spell? This is kind of a hand trap, actually. Hmm. I can't think of a deck where this would really pop off. This specifically discards a spell. Does this count for, like, White Forest? Let's see, White Forest. Uh, White Woods, Illusion, Hills. Okay. Let's read this effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. Oh, that's for probably White Forest then, yeah? Otherwise, I don't see like a way to effectively play this. So, as far as I can tell, if you were to Singularity Fiend, discard Tails with this, you would be able to reset Tails, and then you can just send Tails from field again next turn, which doesn't really change a whole lot for you. So, I guess that's one way you could use Singularity Fiend, right? But Singularity Fiend would go to the graveyard, which is like kind of weird. This is much inferior to something like a Gamma, and the only time this is more useful than like a Ghost Ogre is if you're specifically facing off against, well, specifically you have to be dealing with a monster and not something like a spell or trap that's continuous. And then you also need the monster in question to have an ignition effect rather than a trigger. So if those conditions are met, I think this card could be good in that situation, but alright. Earthbound Immortal Red Nova. I didn't really expect to see this here, but okay. Earthbound. During the main phase, quick effect. You bash this card from your hand or graveyard, send one Earthbound Immortal monster or Red Dragon Arcane from your hand or face-up monster zone to the graveyard, then apply one of these effects. Ugh. Special summon a Red Nova Dragon from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Special summon an Earthbound monster from your deck or extra deck. What? Uh, who does this special again? A Earthbound monster from a deck or extra deck. So this just cheats it out. This requires you to banish this card from hand or period, then send an Earthbound Immortal monster or Red Dragon Arcane from your hand or face up monster zone to the graveyard. Wait, your hand. If there's an Earthbound Immortal in your hand alongside this, then you technically cheat out Red Nova Dragon on the first turn. Which one's Red Nova? Red Nova. This one. Cannot be destroyed, yada yada. Once returned during that phase, if this card was smashed by its effect, this turn special summon the smash card. When opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, bash this card, and if you do, negate that attack. So, overall, this does nothing. Oh, okay. But this can special summon Earthbound from your extra deck. Must be fusion summoned. So, not that one. This card is special summon add a field spell. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's extra deck, you can destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, though is special summoned this turn. This feels like it would be like kind of good to combo against like a fusion deck. So like let's assume maybe my opponent activates a fusion spell, I can chain this effect to summon, right? And then Earthbound Servant Geokraken will be able to be there to hopefully witness our opponent special summoning a guy from extra deck and then uh kind of setting up a bit of a destruction effect. Otherwise, if we were to summon like Geokraken a bit too early, our opponent doesn't necessarily have to summon anymore, so maybe they can play around it. So who knows? Alright. Um Deep Sea Fiend. You can discard one card, then declare one attribute except for water. Special summon this card from your hand to either field. I really don't like that, but okay. Then this card becomes the attribute until the end of this turn, and if you special summon this card to your opponent's field, you can special summon one level 4 or lower fiend monster with an original attribute other than the declared one from your hand or graveyard to your field. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon for the extra deck except for fiend monsters. Okay, so this is a little bit more balanced, I suppose, than I thought, because it has a lock on it at least. But still a really weird card. Alright. Wandering Titan of Tartarus. New card. This card is sent from the deck to the graveyard. Send as many cards you control as possible to the graveyard, and if you use specials on this card, then send cards your opponent controls the graveyard up to the number sent to the graveyard by this effect. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this effect's activation. Oh, this card's like potentially kind of good, I suppose, to some extent. But this card is sent to the graveyard except from the deck. Wait, what? You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, and then send one card on the field to the graveyard. Wait, what? So this card gets sent to the graveyard somehow, but not from deck. Then we have to like essentially more or less discard a card, and then we can send a card on the field to the graveyard. That kind of sucks. But alright. You can only use one effect per turn, and only once that turn though. Okay. If this is specifically sent from the deck to the graveyard, and then if it's sent from anywhere else, it has an effect for both. This is like some removal. So the good thing about this card is that zombies, just in general, they just didn't really have any back row removal. And this is kind of back row removal that you can kind of loop a little bit. So that's nice, I guess. I don't think we can shuffle this back like super easily because I don't see a way to bash and then shuffle this. I can't really imagine anything like that. But I guess that's nice to have to an extent, but it doesn't really solve any of Zombie's problems, and it's just another Garnet you kind of have to or want to run, which kind of sucks. Alright, Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. Special summon in defense position one Blue-Eyed monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment, but if you control no Blue-Eyed White Dragon, you can only special summon Blue-Eyed White Dragon with this effect. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for Dragon monsters. Dragon Lock, okay. You can bash this card from your graveyard fusion, summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including a Blue Eyes monster. You can only use one Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons effect per turn, and only once a turn. I mean, card seems good for Blue Eyes. if you're interested in playing that. Zoma, the Earthbound Spirit. Oh, interesting. So, as the Zoma stat line, it's treated as a trap still, which is interesting. How does this work with Book of Man? Huh. I'm not sure that's relevant though. All monsters your opponent controls that can attack must attack this card. If this card summoned this way is destroyed by opponent's monsters attack, inflict damage to your opponent. Max 3000. Equal to double the original attack of the attacking monster. Wait, what? Well, why did they make this card this way? I'm so lost. This is already a continuous trap, bro. What? Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. If you control a Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand. During the battle phase, detach one material from your Galaxy Eyes XYZ monster, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck that were normal or special summon this turn. If you control a numbers C monster, this card's activation and effect cannot be negated. Oh, that's kind of neat. But also, this happens in the battle phase, so that kind of also sucks. I'm not sure if that's like relevant at all. If you in like force main phase 1 skip or something. Cosmo Queen, the Queen of Prayers. Okay. If a field spell is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position, so you can activate this turn 1. You can target one face-up card in the field zone, then activate the appropriate effect based on which player controls that card. If it is your card, destroy it, and if you add one field spell from your deck to your hand with a different name. AFD. Cool. Negate its effects until the end of the turn if you do add one field spell from your deck to your hand. Still AFD. Okay. Is that card new? Okay. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you target one machine monster on the field. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for XYZ monsters. Also, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Wait, what? And if you do have that monster's attack, also this card's level becomes that monster's. I think you can play this with like Gimmick Puppet or something. That's about it, right? I don't know what else you do with that card, really. Once per turn, you can either target one effect monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. You can return this card equipped to a monster to your hand. Wait, what? You can return this card equipped to a monster to your hand. Equip one appropriate banish union monster to one monster you control as a equip spell as if it were equipped by that union monster's effect. And if you do special, summon this card from your hand. So these cards are possibly a lot better if specifically the there is a way to recycle your large fusion monsters, I guess, from like banish. I think it was. If there's a way to do that, I think could be pretty solid. L Maggie Murky. Level 2. Gains attack equal to the total link rating of link monsters in your graveyard times 400, so that effect's not like super super big deal, I guess. During the main phase of this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can tribute one Cerberus monster or one link monster. Special summon this card. This works with Layer of Darkness, doesn't it? It would require your opponent to at least probably have a link monster, but links are pretty common. So that's kind of interesting. The effect isn't that great unless this is triggering something specifically. I don't think it's that great, is it? Yeah. Gains 1000 attack each time your opponent activates a monster effect. If your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand, graveyard, or banishment, except during the dredge step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when they activate, or hand even if not, but destroyed during the end phase. Never Ending Nightmare Absorber. This card kinda funny, honestly. This is any time, right? But it does remove itself during the end phase, so that's kinda awkward. I don't think this card's very playable. Alright. Neo Kaiser Seahorse. You control Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand, you can target one light tuner you control, increase or decrease its level by 1. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one Blue Eyes monster or one monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your graveyard except for Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Hard once per turn on both effects. So in summary, special summon myself, and then increase or decrease. Uh, this can be its own level. So just a tuner, specifically a light tuner. This card gets sent from the field to the graveyard. Then you can do a foolish burial. Okay. Not 100% sure what you're sending here, but alright. Tachyon Spiral of Destruction. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. Wait, you're telling me I can activate multiple of these in a turn then? Interesting. If you control a Galaxy XYZ monster, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls whose effects are negated. Target one Tachyon card in your graveyard, except for Spiral Destruction, add to your hand. Target one Dragon number monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. I think this effect is probably going to be the more relevant one out of the three, maybe? Actually, it's not very clear. The effects is pretty weird here. Spirit Illusion. Equip only to a level 5 or higher fiend or zombie monster. Huh. When an attack is declared involving the equipped monster and an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose attack equal to the equipped monster's attack. You can activate one of these effects, fusion summon one fusion monster, or extract using monsters from your hand or field. Special summon a doppelganger token with the equipped monster's type, attribute, and attack. And this effect's hard once per turn. Wait, what do you even use this card for? I'll get it. Okay, I guess. And you can't search this card, you would just have to hard open it. Okay. Galaxy Wardrake. If a level 4 light monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it was there when the summon resolved, or graveyard even if not, but bash it when it leaves the field. You target one other level 4 light monster you control, make both that monster. This card level 8 until the end of this turn. So it's any light monster, which is interesting, I guess. And is there a lock on this? And the special summon specifically from where? From your hand or graveyard. So this card looks nice because you can kind of loop it a bit. Okay. And let's see. You cannot special summon the turn you activate either of this card's effects except for light monsters. Alright. It's some light support, honestly. And when I think of good light archetypes, I can think of like pretty much none. That'd be pretty accurate to say, I guess. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. Light needs some support at some point, I suppose. And you can kind of loop this guy a little bit. Detonating Karibo. If a Karibo monster card is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Karibo support? Question mark. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can equip this card you control to that opponent's monsters and equip with a falling effect. Equipped monsters' effects are negated. Huh. You have to specifically control Detonating Karibo though. But I mean, this is kind of a monster negate, which is kind of neat. Alright. And you just need a Karibo monster card on the field to special summon this card from your hand. I mean, it's not like life-changing or anything, but alright. Equip only to a Dragon Synchro monster you control. Red Dragon Arcfiend equipped with this card is not affected by your opponent's activated effects. But why does this matter? Once per turn during your main phase, you can make the attack of all monsters your opponent currently controls become equal to the equipped monsters. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving the equipped monster, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, bash it, and if you do, the equipped monster gains attack equal to the banished monsters until the end of the turn. Sure. A to Z energy load. When your opponent activates a card or effect, draw cards equal to the number of level 8 or higher light machine fusion monsters you control. Wait, what? Cards equal to the number of level 8 or higher light machine fusion monsters you control. What? Okay. I'm sure that's not like a large amount, surely, right? What? And even then, I guess you do need cards to activate the A to Z like cards because they all want you to discard a card from hand. Sure. During your standby phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, shuffle up to 6 of your banished light machine monsters into the deck, including a union monster. Ah, now that's the good effect. This can recycle your fusions. So all of the recycling that the union monsters do, now it's actually relevant. A little bit more, I would say at least. All right. Spirit Shield, continuous trap. Once per battle, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one fiend or zombie monster from your graveyard. Negate that attack. It's once per battle. Interesting. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card or cards, you can banish one fiend or zombie monster from your graveyard. Negate that activation. Ah. Once per turn during the end phase, if you do not control a fiend or zombie monster, send this card to the graveyard. So the effects of this are not like entirely trash, but I mean, the card I don't think meshes well with zombie strategies in general, so whatever, I guess. Majesty of the White Dragons. Show up to 3 of the Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand, face up monster zone and or graveyard, then destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls. Non-targeted destruction. That goes up to 3. Okay. You can banish this card from your graveyard, ritual summon a ritual monster from your hand by attributing Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand or field whose total levels equal its level. So you can also use this. Wait, you can only use each effect. Oh, you can do both in the same turn, huh? Well, I don't think that matters that much, but yeah, this gives some chaos mix, I guess. Cool. All right. So yeah, that's all of the new cards in the selection, I guess. Nothing like super interesting unless you're really interested in either of these, I suppose, like 3 decks. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.